July 5, 1943. German Panzer crews climb into their brand new Tiger and Panther tanks. Technological marvels Hitler delayed the offensive 10 weeks to acquire. Unaware, they are driving straight into the most elaborate defensive trap in military history. 37 miles deep, with 400,000 mines waiting beneath their tracks. This is the story of Operation Citadel at the Battle of Kursk, told from the perspective of the elite German panzer forces who charged confidently into a Soviet killing ground so meticulously prepared that it would shatter the Wehrmacht's offensive capability forever. What happened in those 8 brutal days would answer a fundamental question of modern warfare. Can technological superiority overcome strategic patience and meticulous preparation? Inside German high command, a debate rages. Strike now with existing forces, or wait for the technological marvels that promise invincibility? By spring 1943, the Wehrmacht is reeling from the catastrophic defeat at Stalingrad, where an entire army group and over 300,000 men vanished into the rubble. The Soviet winter offensive has pushed German forces westward, creating a massive bulge around Kursk. Hitler and his generals see this salient as both a threat to their supply lines and an opportunity for redemption through a classic double envelopment. But Hitler makes a fateful decision. He delays Operation Citadel from May to July 5, 1943, waiting for 200 new Panther tanks and other wonder weapons to arrive at the front. He believes these technological marvels will guarantee victory. The Tiger boasts thick frontal armor and an 88mm gun. The Panther features sloped armor and high-velocity firepower. The Ferdinand tank destroyer mounts an incredible 200mm of frontal armor. These machines are supposed to be invincible. Commanders like Guderian warn that every week of delay gives the Soviets more time to strengthen their defenses exponentially. They are right. Those 10 weeks allow the Red Army to increase their numerical advantage while constructing defensive belts that stretch nearly 37 miles deep. Soviet intelligence, including the Lucy spy ring, has already learned the details of Operation Citadel. Marshal Zhukov knows exactly where the Germans will attack, and he uses every day of Hitler's delay to perfect his trap. But what were these elite panzer crews actually driving into on that summer morning? From the commander's cupola, the view ahead looks deceptively open, rolling fields under summer sun. But beneath the surface lies the most elaborate killing ground ever constructed. As German forces begin their advance, they encounter a Soviet defensive system unlike anything previously experienced. The main defensive system stretches nearly 37 miles in depth, with 7 defensive belts extending back from the front line. The first battle line alone consists of trench systems 3 to 4 miles deep. Fortified with concrete bunkers, the Soviets have laid nearly 400,000 anti-tank and anti-personnel mines across the salient. Miles of anti-tank ditches and barbed wire channeled German armor into predetermined killing zones. Marshal Zhukov has positioned over 20,000 artillery pieces in concentrated anti-tank gun lines, designed to focus overwhelming firepower on narrow sectors. Behind these guns wait 3,600 tanks in prepared positions, their crews having spent weeks studying the terrain. The Germans mass 900,000 men and 2,700 tanks for their double envelopment. They face over 1.3 million Soviet troops and 3,600 tanks in the salient itself. The elite II SS Panzer Corps spearheads the southern attack with the newest equipment and most experienced crews. They advance with confidence, expecting their technological superiority to overwhelm Soviet defenses. The wonder weapons were supposed to make the difference, but could they deliver on their promise? The new Panthers roar forward with confidence until the first transmission seizes, the second throws a track on a mine, and the third erupts in flames from a hidden anti-tank gun. The technological superiority of the Tiger, Panther, and Ferdinand proves illusory under actual combat conditions. Panther tanks suffer catastrophic transmission failures at alarming rates. Many vehicles are lost to non-combat causes before ever engaging the enemy. Crews watch helplessly as their supposedly invincible machines grind to a halt, immobilized not by Soviet shells, but by their own unreliable engineering. The Ferdinand tank destroyers reveal a fatal design flaw. Despite mounting 200 millimeters of frontal armor, virtually impenetrable to any Soviet gun, they lack machine guns for close defense. When Soviet infantry swarm these behemoths at close range, the crews have no way to fight back. German tankers watch in horror as their comrades are burned out of their vehicles by Molotov cocktails and satchel charges. The Ferdinands, designed to be unstoppable, become death traps. Tiger tanks bogged down in muddy terrain that turns from dust to soup under summer rainstorms. Their weight becomes a liability in the churned earth. From above, Soviet Il-2 Sturmovik ground attack aircraft hunt them relentlessly, striking the vulnerable top armor. German Panzer crews experience the psychological terror of being trapped in burning vehicles, realizing that their technological advantage is an illusion. The wonder weapons Hitler waited 10 weeks to deploy are failing catastrophically against an enemy who had time to prepare. As the offensive grinds forward through blood and fire, one final clash looms. July 12th, in the fields near Prokhorovka, visibility drops to meters as hundreds of tanks collide in a maelstrom of steel, smoke, and screaming metal. While mythologized as a battle of 1,500 tanks, archival research reveals that closer to 800 Soviet and 300 German tanks actually participated. Yet, the chaos and violence are beyond comprehension. The battle devolves into point-blank combat at ranges under 100 meters. Tank commanders lose all tactical control. Soviet T-34s and KV-1s charge directly into German formations, deliberately closing the range to negate the Tiger's superior guns. Tanks collide and grind against each other. Crews abandon burning vehicles and sprint through the inferno. Field Marshal von Manstein's elite units advance rapidly in the initial stages, achieving significant penetrations. But as they drive deeper, they encounter increasingly dense resistance. The advance rate slow. The casualties mount. The fuel runs low. Both sides suffer devastating losses in the swirling chaos. Despite the tactical skill of German crews, no decisive breakthrough is achieved. The Soviet defensive system absorbs the blow and holds. When the smoke finally clears and Hitler makes his decision, what has this bloodbath actually achieved? On July 13th, the order comes down from the Führer's headquarters. Operation Citadel is canceled, and with it, Germany's last chance to seize initiative in the East. After just 8 days, Hitler acknowledges irreversible failure. The cost is staggering and irreplaceable. The Wehrmacht has lost approximately 500 tanks, including 133 Tigers and 200 Panthers. Personnel casualties total 50,000 killed or wounded, including irreplaceable veteran crews. The Soviets have also suffered enormous losses, with approximately 1,500 tanks destroyed and over 100,000 casualties. But the strategic calculus is brutally simple. The Soviet Union can replace these losses, and Germany cannot. Soviet factories are producing 1,300 T-34 tanks per month, more than the entire German tank force at Kursk. Every German loss is permanent, every Soviet loss is temporary. The operation forces the Wehrmacht into a permanent shift to defensive operations. Never again will Germany launch a major offensive on the Eastern Front. The elite Panzer divisions must now be dispersed to plug gaps. The strategic initiative passes entirely to the Red Army, which immediately launches massive counteroffensives that push German forces back across Ukraine and Belarus. The road ahead leads only westward, toward the Reich itself, toward Berlin. The wonder weapons lie burning in the fields of Kursk, monuments to Hitler's fatal gamble that technology could substitute for time. Operation Citadel answers a fundamental question of modern warfare. Technological superiority means nothing when strategic patience and meticulous preparation transform the battlefield itself into a weapon. The German Panzer crews who charged into Kursk discovered that Hitler's 10-week gamble had given the Soviets something far more powerful: time to build a trap so deep and deadly that it shattered the Wehrmacht's offensive capability forever. Those 10 weeks allowed Marshal Zhukov to lay 400,000 mines and construct 7 defensive belts stretching 37 miles deep. The myth of German technological invincibility died in the mud and fire of Kursk. The Tigers bogged down. The Panthers broke down. The Ferdinands burned. The elite crews who believed their equipment made them unstoppable learned that preparation, depth, and patience could defeat any weapon. Kursk marked the irreversible turning point on the Eastern Front, proving that in war, time and preparation are the ultimate force multipliers. If you enjoyed this story, hit subscribe for more World War II historical deep dives every week. Thanks for watching.